Humans on the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Tonight we got the official reveal for the effects of the brand new Sky Striker LINK-4 monster. We got this revealed like 2 weeks ago or something, but no effects at the time. Gonna take a look at it today. I've not read any of this. I talked about it at the time. I wanted to see this be like kind of a flexible LINK-4 that maybe could replace something like access code in the deck, where maybe it goes second and can remove stuff, but also go first and be an interruption, which also could open up the possibilities of, because like Sky Strikers themselves don't facilitate LINK-4s as well, but it opens up more possibilities to potentially play other engines in Sky Strikers and kind of like make them on top of this. Or like, you know what I mean? Like they use the other engines, you get value out of it, and then you're able to kind of link up into this card. That way you clear your monster zone, but still get good value. Hopefully it's worthwhile, but we'll see. Okay, so this is Surgical Striker Spectra. Its arrows are right, left, up, down. Classic. It's a LINK-4 Dark Machine. Its attack is 3,000. Its links point, the links that point up, and its materials are any 2 or more monsters, including a link monster. So pretty much like completely generic, which is very interesting because this card is always treated as a Sky Striker card. So what this does mean is, because this is completely generic, means if you could just make a LINK-4, any way to just like put enough link material or like link climb into this card means you can then just link down into the smaller Sky Strikers and then just start getting that advantage train going, right? Dump off of Hayate, add back off Kagari, make sure you could get a free plus as well at the end phase. So that's really nice. Must first be link summoned. So it can be revived, but you have to correctly link summon it the first time. So it means you cannot cheat this out of the deck with the spell card linkage. So that's important to note. And you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. When your opponent activates a card or effect as chain link 2 or higher, quick effect, you can banish 2 spells from your hand and or graveyard as cost. To negate that effect, then you can destroy 1 card your opponent controls. Second effect, this card loses 3,000 attack while you have no spells engraved. Interesting. Okay. How do I feel about this card? I think this card is okay. I don't think it's amazing. I think the problem that was kind of working against this card from the very beginning is there's so little space in Sky Striker, right? Like it feels like you're playing at bare minimum of 10 of the smaller Sky Striker links. Bare minimum. I think the build I've been messing around with some other engines in it, already messing around with 11, which means there's only 4 extra slots to work with. SP Little Knight's got to be in there. And like I said at the beginning of the video, like you're probably on access code. So if this card isn't good enough to kind of like supplement a role of access code, I don't know if we're going to be able to find room for 2 separate LINK-4s with all the other like really good cards that we might want to play. At the end of the day, I don't think it's a bad card at all. I mean, like, here's this interruption. How good is this interruption? Because it's very weird. I don't know if we've ever seen an interruption that's quite like this, because it only can respond when your opponent activates any card as chain link 2 or higher, but this is a face-up card, so like your opponent gets to see, which means if you make this going first, and your opponent doesn't have to do a line where they like have to chain block, in which case like they still get to chain block the thing they want, so that won't get negated. You would still get a pop though. I like that about this effect, but some decks can just kind of do plays without having to like worry about making chain link 2s, which I don't love. You know, you banish 2 spells. That's like okay. I mean, like that, especially if you've set up enough engraved, that's like not really a problem. Listen, it negates the card that's activated, and then I like that you get to just non-target destroy any other card on the field. That's really the best part about this interruption, in my opinion, is the pop, because if your opponent's making something chain link 2, like, I guess this is good if like you're threatening them with something else and they're trying to respond with a quick effect, and you're able to then handle that quick effect and then hit something else. That's pretty nice, but I don't know. I think if this was just a negate, right? Like if this just said if your opponent just activates a card or effect, you know, banish 2 spells, negate that effect, then destroy 1 card, like that would be probably good enough, because it means just link climbing in Sky Strikers now gets you to just a straight up negate, straight up, and then this would have been a generic tool in other decks too. And it is a generic tool. That's actually something interesting to note here. I don't know if it's better than something like Appaloosa, if we're talking about just like generic cards you can make going first. You know what I mean? Would you rather have 3 negates usually from like Appaloosa, or would you rather have this, which is, it's just too, I think it's a little bit too specific with needing stuff to be chain link 2 or higher. Maybe I'm just underestimating how often that comes up, and like, sometimes you play Yu-Gi-Oh, but you don't really think about how many interactions get chain link 2 or higher. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad card. It's definitely a card I'll look at, and I'll probably pick up when it comes to the TCG just to take a look at. But I don't know if this is gonna be good enough to take one of like the really 3 open slots that I have in Sky Striker, looking for some like good utility cards. I'm just not sure this is all the way there for me, especially since they already have a Link 2 that's completely generic to make as well. Which, like, in terms of like, oh, if another engine, you can make that Link 2 and Link down, it's easier to get to, you actually get a free send out of it. Like, you get more value off of that card than you do this, and it's easier to make. I don't know. I'm just not there on this card. I don't think it's terrible, but I think it's just okay. But listen, I'm not a Sky Striker connoisseur. I just mess with the deck a little bit. I think it's a cool deck. I like control decks, so that fits me. But let me know your guys' thoughts down below, especially if you are a player of Sky Striker in the past or currently. I'd love to hear somebody's perspective who actually actively plays the deck. Do you think this card's good enough? Do you think it's got enough punch to get out there and actually be a playable card with the very limited extra space that Strikers have? I'd love to hear your opinion on that. But I'm ready for tonight. We should hopefully be getting the whatever that archetype is. I hope it's Ritual Beast from the Terminal World set. We should be getting those 4 cards probably this week, if not, like, definitely next week. But we'll keep an eye on that. I'll bring that to you as soon as it drops. But thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe if you haven't. You want to stay up to date on all things Yu-Gi-Oh news. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.